Hey everybody, John Michael Bailey Injury Lawyers. Listen, today we're going to be going over direct punch type collisions, what kind of injuries you can expect to receive, how they can affect your life today and tomorrow, and most importantly, what that insurance adjuster doesn't want you to know. Listen, there's a lot to go over, a lot to learn. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, John Michael Bailey Injury Lawyers. Today we're going to be going over Chapter 13 of this book, 2 + 2 = I'm Hurt. We're going to be talking about direct punch collisions and the type of injuries that you should expect to look for if you have one of these type of collisions, and how it can affect you not only today, but forever, and what the insurance adjuster doesn't want you to know. Now, as I said, my name is John Michael Bailey. I'm with John Michael Bailey Injury Lawyers. I'm a lawyer. I'm a good lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer, and I won't be your lawyer unless you choose to hire us for your case. But guess what? We'd love to look at your case. We'd love to see if we can help you, and if we can, we'll help you any way we can. And if you want to start that process right now, you can by following this link. It'll take you to the website and begin that process. Or if you're the impatient type like I am, you can pick up that phone and call me now at 888-WE-FIGHT. We answer the phone 24/7, 365. We never close. Our motto is, if you're hurting, we're working. Okay, now let's talk about some YouTube stuff. We understand that there's a grumpy old man named Mr. Algorithm that works for YouTube. He gets out of bed every day mad at the world, and he goes to bed at night every day mad at the world, stays mad at the world all day long. We also understand that he has an equally grumpy girlfriend named Ms. Analytics. She's just as grumpy as her boyfriend, Mr. Algorithm, and we're doing everything we can to keep them happy. So please help us. Please like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave comments, tell all your friends, send them emails, phone calls, write them letters. I don't care if you throw a rock through their living room window, but if you throw that rock, don't put my name on it. But anyway, help us spread the word. We're not trying to monetize anything here. We're trying to get information out so people can protect themselves from the greedy insurance agency that exist in the agencies and industry in the world. So direct punch, what that means is it's a 90-degree angle. It's either going to be into the driver's door or the rear passenger's door. I know this isn't a four-door car. Just please make believe that it is. Or just like this. And the reason why I'm doing a specific type of video on this is because these are the types of collisions. These right here are typically done at pretty good speed, because typically what has happened is somebody has run a red light or run a stop sign and has come right out, did not stop in time, didn't do what they were supposed to do, and we have direct impact trauma, which means either on the passenger side or on the driver's side, there is direct blunt force transmitted from that impact into the body. And I say that because the force of the impact, that force has got to go somewhere, and it goes into you. So let's talk about the kind of trauma that you should expect to have. Now, if you are in the front or back seat and you have this kind of direct impact trauma, well, that's all going to be down this side of your body, okay? If you're on the passenger side, it's going to be on the reverse side. So if you're on the driver's side, it's going to be on the left side. Passenger side, it's going to be on the right side. What is affected? Well, the first thing I want to talk about is you can experience broken bones. It's very, very easy in these type of situations. If you're like this, you can find broken or cracked bones not only in your arms, but also, well, skinny the skeletons down here, but also in the rib cage, because it may not break or crack any bone in your arm, but if it comes in hard enough and takes your arm, the force of your arm going into your rib cage, that can crack your ribs. Now, there's no way to put somebody in a cast for that. Typically what they do when that happens is they just wrap you very, very tightly. That's basically all they can do, and you're going to hurt. But the other thing that you need to watch for if that happens is you need to watch for internal bleeding. The way God designed our bodies is our rib cage is designed to protect our internal organs. Well, guess what? When God designed our bodies, he didn't have automobile collisions at speed in his mind when he did that. So all of these internal organs being smashed together can cause them to rupture and split. A very, very common injury In cases like this of a bad wreck, you'll often find a ruptured spleen. Listen, the only thing you can do for a ruptured spleen is remove it. That's a splenectomy. And if you have a ruptured spleen, if you have to have a splenectomy, what that means is now you have to eat a specialized diet. You can't eat the things, and your ability to protect yourself from infections, all of that has been impacted. Now, that's a lifetime injury, and for that lifetime injury, you deserve a lifetime of compensation. And that insurance adjuster is never going to tell you that, and is never going to tell you to go see a trauma-trained doctor to make sure that you get the treatment that your injuries deserve and that you deserve and that your family deserves. You're taking care of your family. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. So that's why we're telling you all of these things to help you take care of yourself. What else can be affected? Well, let's talk about the structures in the leg, either on the anterior or posterior side, depending on where you're sitting. If that direct impact trauma comes through, not only will it come through to your hip, and let's talk about that right here. You can have issues with your hip. You can particularly right here with your femur. This right here is your femur. It goes into your pelvis right there. This is how you move. And right here, there's a little thing right here. It's called the neck of the femur. And that fits into that joint socket like that. And that's what allows us to move. Now, the femur is a pretty solid bone, but it can be broken in direct impact. And what happens when that occurs is they will have to go inside of your femur and they will have to put a rod in it. Yeah, they'll have to put a piece of metal in there and screw it in. If you think you're going to come back and be 100% after that, I'm sorry to tell you, you will not. You will have an impairment after that. But no adjuster is going to tell you that and tell you what you're entitled to. You have to stand up and fight for it. And you can try and fight yourself. But remember, these guys go to classes and are trained to cheat you. You can do it on your own, but the insurance company's own statistics will tell you if you have a lawyer on your side, you're going to get 3.5 times more money than people who go alone. So it's in your best interest to at least talk to a lawyer. And listen, if you want to call me, the call is free, but the help you get could be priceless. So please don't forget that. Back to here. The other thing that can happen, you can have fractures inside the pelvis, which are very, very serious because the pelvic also is a protective mechanism for our intestines and things like that, which can cause all kinds of problems if they are impacted or interrupted. This little area right here on the bone right here, the neck of the femur, it is not as strong or as dense as the femur itself. You can oftentimes have issues right here. A crack right here or a break right here oftentimes will require a hip replacement or a ball and socket replacement where they actually take a metal piece, looks like something that came out of Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator, and they get in there and they put that in there in place and they take this titanium pin and they take a hammer, yes, a hammer, and hammer it into the middle of your femur. That's what they have to do. It's painful. It will restore a modicum of your ability to walk and be mobile. But if you think you're going to be 100% after that, you're wrong. You are going to have an impairment. You will have a lifetime injury. You will need lifetime compensation, but that adjuster is going to never tell you that and will do everything he can to cheat you out of what you and your family rightfully deserve. It's going to affect your ability to walk. If you actually work for a living, if you do a physical labor, it's going to impact your ability to earn income for your family for the rest of your life. Don't let that adjuster give you a whistle and a promise and tell you things are going to be better tomorrow when he knows in his heart they aren't. Now listen, a lot of people tell us when they call us, well, I don't know a trauma-trained doctor. I don't have health insurance. What should I do? Listen, don't let the fact that you don't have a family doctor, and you shouldn't go to your family doctor anyway for a trauma. You should go to a trauma physician, trauma-trained medical personnel. But if you don't know them, we do. We can get you to the appropriate trauma-trained medical professionals who know what trauma is. They know the effects of trauma on the human body and know how to treat it and know how to get you as good as you can get. If you don't have health insurance, that's okay. We know doctors who understand how things work, um, and will treat you on what's called a letter of protection, and will wait until the case resolves to get paid. Now, listen, the insurance adjuster is going to scoff that, oh well, the lawyer found you a doctor, and therefore, everything that you went through is fake. But let me tell you this: no insurance adjuster has ever showed up on anybody's doorstep and say, you need medical help, so I'm going to take you to my own doctor. That has never happened, ever. Never, ever, ever. And it won't ever happen, ever, ever, ever. They don't want to do anything to help you. They don't want to do anything for you to get help. All they want to do is sit on their behinds and criticize the help that you do get in an attempt to get you to take less than what you rightfully deserve. But let me get back off my soapbox and get back to this. So all of these things can happen. Your rotator cuff, broken bones, your knee can be impacted, your spine. If you're going back and forth like that, you can bet you're going to have issues with ligament laxity. Ligament laxity is a stretching of your ligaments beyond their normal, beyond what God intended for them to do. You can see like this. You can see these little yellow things represent the nerve roots. In here is the spinal cord. You can see that this violent twisting like this will cause a stretching. And when these ligaments and tendons get stretched beyond where they're supposed to go, they never, ever, 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 ever go back to where they're supposed to be. And when you come back the other way because of inertia and the other side of that violent whipping motion, you've got all of this through here that will also be inflamed and will also give you problems. And that is where we get ligament laxity that causes chronic pain and headaches that go for years after the accidents, because our muscles tighten up and try to take over for what the ligaments and the tendons are supposed to do. And that's why they hurt. That's why there's pain. An insurance adjuster will tell you that neck pain's all in your head. Well, let me tell you something. That adjuster is a liar. That neck pain is in your neck, and it's real, and it's from ligament laxity. It is a lifetime injury. You're entitled to a lifetime compensation for that. But again, no adjuster is ever going to tell you that. Let me go over some of the really, really bad things can happen in some of this stuff. If it's enough of a violent impact or a whipped lash type injury, you can get this right here. This is a blow up of your disc. The disc can be pushed out of position. Some radiologists will call this a bulge. Some will call it protrusion. If it's particularly violent and bad enough, you can see that you will get a protrusion like that. And that will encroach upon the spinal cord, which will give you all kinds of problems. It'll encroach on the nerve root, which interrupts the flow of messages from the brain down to the body part. If it encroaches on the spinal cord or on the nerve root, depending on where it is, if it's in the neck, it'll show up in your arms and shoulders. If it's in your lumbar and sacral, it'll show up below your belt line. These lingering pains and discomfort in our neck, the adjuster will tell you it's fine. It'll just go away. Don't believe him. Again, he is a liar. He is trying to take money out of your pocket. Get to a trauma-trained physician immediately. Show that doctor the pictures of the wreck so the doctor can understand the force that went into your body. So the doctor will understand the mechanism of the collision and therefore will understand the mechanism of injury. We pride ourselves at John Michael Bailey Injury Lawyers for doing just that. That is why getting help from a trauma-trained legal staff can be the best decision you ever make after a car crash. Finally, let me close by saying, if your head is violently shaken, or if it comes into contact with a B pillar, which is this pillar right here, it can come in contact with a B pillar or the C pillar, or hit the side of the glass. What can happen is a thing that's called brain shear. Now, let me show you what that means. Our brain sits in a cup. This cup-like thing right here, you can see the bottom half of the brain goes from right above the eyes down to just below the nose, and it's enclosed in a cup, and it tends to stay where it is. But the top half of the brain in the violent shaking will move back and forth or frontways and backways. And what happens is all the little micro blood vessels and all the little capillaries within the brain will bleed. That's very, very serious because the brain does not heal like the rest of the body. There's no swelling because, well, there is swelling. It's very, very dangerous, but the brain can't swell and do like the rest of the body does because it's in this enclosed cranium. So that causes brain bleeds. And when the brain bleeds and that blood is reabsorbed by the brain, it leaves holes in your brain. Yes, holes in your brain that can cause you all kinds of neurological deficits. Very, very, very serious. You need to get checked for that. There's a special MRI where they can detect that. It's called a DTI. And because the MRI is magnetic, it cues in and finds the iron in the blood that has been left during the brain bleed. So all of these things are very, very important. So these are the kinds of injuries. That's why these direct impact punch type collisions can be so dangerous. They're not anything to brush off. You need to get the right lawyer. John Michael Bailey Injury Lawyers is one of the premier trauma trained law firms in the country. I literally wrote the book on the mechanism of collision injuries and the mechanism of injuries that come from that. And we will get you to the appropriate trauma trained doctors. So let me say again, if you want us to look at your case, we'll be happy to do that. You can begin that process by following this link right here. Or if you're the impatient type, please pick up that phone and call me right now, 888-WE-FIGHT. We never close. We'd love to look at your case. Our motto is, if you're hurting, we're working. We're standing by. If you need us, just call us. Please remember the YouTube stuff. We want to keep that grumpy old man, Mr. Algorithm, happy, and his equally grumpy girlfriend, Miss Analytics, happy. So please like, subscribe, leave us a comment. We'll respond to any questions, or if you have ideas of other videos you want us to do, we'd love to hear from you. So in conclusion, thanks so much for listening. And if you can hear my voice, I wish you peace and joy. And I hope to talk to everybody real soon. 888-WE-FIGHT.